Alright guys, this is a mower. Good morning, good evening, whatever it is out there. This was given to me by a customer. It's basically a FrankenMower. Took a lawn boy from whenever vintage. Looks like, you know, mid 2000s, early 2000s. Put this mower on it from a Toro. What he didn't do though, what I want to point out was Toros have this thing here, which is the safety. That bail, if you look, when you lift off a grass bag on a Toro, there's no door there. That's open, so you can cut your fingers and cut your toes and everything else. So what Toro's done is, inside these pilasters here is a reed switch, a magnetic reed switch, so that when the bag is down, this metal rod activates the reed, makes the switch, and causes this wire to unground. When it ungrounds, it lets you run. Well, this guy, when he did his FrankenMower here, didn't hook it up. I'll be hooking it up because I believe in safety. But getting back to why this thing is here, basically it's a no start condition, and then they said when it did start, it ran for about 20 seconds and then it died. So I'm gonna check out the carburetor, see what's going on. It's got a primer bulb on it, so we'll give it the old college try here and see what we got. Chances are the air filter's all buggered up too, so let's see what happens. Here's a good one. Look at that. Couldn't even put in a real air filter. They put in a piece of foam. I mean, talk about Rube Goldberg. This is ridiculous. Unbelievable. All right. So just another check. It's a piece of foam. Who knows where he got it from? Probably his air conditioner or something. Ridiculous. All right. So let's take this thing off. This guy wants this mower back. He's got a very small lawn. He ended up going to a guy who's local here, and he's known for, let me say, he's known for disrepairs, not repairs, and that's why you saw that piece of foam in there. So let's take this sucker off, see what we got. Pull off this. You have the vent that's on there on the back. The gasket doesn't look too bad, but when that gasket is working, all right, the primer's actually working. You can feel the air coming in through here, but I don't see anything inside there. So what we got to do, we got to take off the fuel clamp. We got to clamp off the fuel. Actually, there's not much in there. Let's see. Nah, there's really not much in there, but I'm going to clamp it off anyway. So all right, I'll be right back. Alright, my favorite tool that each small engine mechanic should have, your little impact driver. Love that thing. Use it for everything. Alright, let's unclip the clip. My neighbor's driving around with his baby on his tractor. I don't know if I condone that, but that's what he's doing. Off. This hose, 2004, the original hose, kind of spongy, so I'm going to replace it. Now we got to take that top cover off. Let's get to the carburetor, just a couple of Phillips. And what I find a lot of times on these is people lose the screws to these covers and use wood screws. Well, to each his own, I guess, but I'd rather use the original screws. Take that cover off. Now we can see the carburetor. We can see what's going on with that. Let me drop the bowl real quick to see what's going on in there. Usually it's a half inch. There may be some fuel in there. You'll see it spill, but that's okay. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, it's spilling, and it's not the nicest color. Pretty stale looking yellow fuel. The one thing that you need when you're working on small engines is a good set of shop towels. Take that bowl nut off. Okay. Yeah, that fuel doesn't smell too good. Wow, that bowl nut's tight. Got the bowl nut. I could see through it. It's not that good. I can't see through it, but it looks like there's some dirt in there, so we're going to clean that. Definitely going to clean that. Okay, let's drop the bowl. Oh yeah. We got some fun stuff in there. I don't know if you can see it on there, but we have water, we have a little bit of schmutz, and we have some bad fuel. So in some cases, we can just get away with cleaning the jet, cleaning the bowl, and putting it back together. And the carb looks pretty clean. Ah, look at this. I think I see the problem here. All right, if you guys can see, this float should seal when it's in a horizontal position. If you notice, it's sealing when it's not horizontal. It's closing and it's above horizontal. It's actually below horizontal, I should say. That means that they put carburetor cleaner in here and they hit the seat, the red rubber seat, or green, depending on what brand they used. By hitting that seat like that, that float is going to be too low. It's not going to let enough fuel flow into the carburetor, and it's not going to let it run. All right, so let me take that off and I'll show you. And it happens. I've seen it happen before. Definitely happens. It definitely happens. All right, now I will show you. It definitely happens. And like I said, this guy who owns this machine, he doesn't know anything about small engines, doesn't know much about mechanics, and his wife was actually criticizing him when they came by the other day saying, look at who your customer is. I said, you know what, lady, at least he brought it to someone who knows and he's going to get it fixed. That's the main thing. You know, I have customers that range from rocket scientists to garbage men. I don't care who you are. You want it fixed right, you want to come to me and give me a job, hey, I'll work for you. All right, let's take the carb off. All right, here we go. What I wanted to show you, everybody. Yeah, it's a little bit oxidized in there, but what I really wanted to show you was, if you look at this carburetor, you can see that that float is sealing off way too low in the float bowl if the low is down here. That thing should be like that when it seals, so that the fuel can come up far enough and get into the carburetor. By having it like that, it means that the seat inside was swelled up because someone used carb cleaner. Either they swished around carb cleaner in here, or they put carb cleaner inside the tank and it got into the rubber seat. That rubber seat, once it swells and holds up this tall, it will not run correctly. All right, I have a kit for that. Let me grab it, but if you notice, look at that. It's not level, it's way above level. It's not supposed to be like that. All right, other than that, everything looks pretty good. I will, let's see, yeah, I'll grab fuel line. All right, guys. Going back with a few things. First things first, got fuel line. This is actually Sten's fuel line. I don't care for it that much, only because it's got like a plastic sheath on it. I'd rather have the rubbery sheath, but it's good fuel line. And the good thing about this type of fuel line, I think, it's Oregon brand. It's 1/4 by 7/16. The thing that's nice about this type of fuel line is the size of it. Because the OD is small, it'll fit through Tecumseh snowblower shrouds with ease instead of grabbing. Tecumseh sells small OD fuel line as their standard that they use on all their old engines, but in this case, this fuel line from Oregon, part number 07-016, it works good, and it's not too expensive. I think it's about 50 cents a foot. So let's take off that old fuel line. We'll replace it with new. I don't know how much is in there. Let me see. Gotta be a little bit in there, so let me put the rag over here. See what we got. Yeah, that's that old fuel. Just let it run out. Not too much in there. So we'll let it run out. It'll just run out, go into the dirt, no big deal. All right. So what I did, I brought out my carb parts bin. I keep all my carb parts in here. Anything that has to do with carburetors, gaskets, filters, everything. I bought one of these Milwaukee suitcases. They work really good for that. And let's hope that Kenny bought another Briggs kit and has one. Let's see what we got in here. I hope it did. I usually buy those kits when I'm at the dealer. Let's see what we got. I don't see the Briggs kits. Uh-oh. That's not good. have a ton of the Briggs quantum gaskets for the carburetor, so that's no problem, but I need the Briggs seat that goes in there. It's a special seat, a little different than the Tecumseh. It's a different size, and I don't see one, and that's not good. That would suck. That would definitely suck. Well, boys and girls, it looks like at this point I don't have one of those Briggs seats in stock, so I'm not going to be able to repair this carburetor today. So it looks like I'm going to have to put in a part 2 to this, or edit it out and put in the right stuff. So sorry about that, guys. I need to get the right seat so I can put it in there. So anyway, we'll talk to you soon. We'll edit part 2. Talk to you later.